All right, another message is God punishing people by giving them cancer. So you see, the majority of people with cancer, they're being punished by God. They're being punished by God. Now, can God test someone? Like, yeah, God could test someone, but you gotta understand, nobody's actually following God with cancer, to be honest. Like, to be honest, nobody's actually truly following God's truth with cancer. So you can't even say that, because you gotta understand, if you're in religion and you have cancer, it probably is God punishing you. And God is trying to wake you, it's trying to tell you something too. Or it could be many variations, but yeah, it's like, that's why you see a lot of religious people and Christians with cancer, with sicknesses and everything too with that. And I guess they can even be healed from that shit, like by the enemy too. Like the enemy can also do healing, stuff like that. There's a lot that gets into all that stuff. But like, yeah, there's a lot that gets into everything. But like, yeah, false miracles, stuff like that, false healings. Let's say, sorry to be about that shit. Like they may heal someone in the church, but then you have to sacrifice someone else is gonna end up getting cancer for you healing someone in the church. So I think y'all did something like that, a video like that. But it's stuff like that, a lot of spiritual stuff, a lot of spiritual, deep spiritual stuff. Is that called life for a life type stuff? Yeah, it's a lot of witchcraft going on, in churches too, religious churches too. And that's what I'm saying, like, what causes cancer? Can witches cause cancer? Yeah, if God can allow a witch to put a spell on you and give you cancer. And also if you rebel and smoke weed, do cigarettes, stuff like that can give you cancer. Yeah. So cancer is a thing that vaccines can give you cancer, medication, psychiatric medication, all sorts of stuff, like pollution, stuff like that, polluted water, pollution stuff, chemicals, all sorts of stuff, the food, whatever it may be, like not eating right could also like give you cancer. So it's like, you gotta understand, this is a witchcraft ran world. So the witches are trying to do what they can to have control, like, and they may try to give other witches cancer or whatever, I don't know, or other people cancer, like, whatever it may be, like, there's ways that can happen too. But then God is also the one, above above all of everything. But like, God ain't gonna intervene in everything though, but God's just gonna let a lot of stuff happen. But then, so yeah, but then there's God's followers of God that are like Jesus. Now let's say one of us has cancer. Like, I don't know. Would God let that happen? I don't know. Like, that's something totally different. That would be more like persecution then at that point, because you understand the system is set up to target God's people. So Medicaid and me and stuff on psychiatric medication, they are trying to do that. That's just reality. That's one of the things they are trying to do. And then with the water in Battle Creek too, you already know, like with the water in Battle Creek, it says years it can cause cancer, and years of consuming the water in Battle Creek. It said that. So the witches are trying to do what they can to give people cancer, This is part of the satanic agenda. So y'all think, oh, it's just life issues, regular life issues. No, witches are in control doing this stuff. You gotta understand, they have, these billionaires can easily, help out communities. They can easily help out communities, but they're not. And then they manipulate. They do a lot of manipulations too, because like, obviously there's so many ways they can do certain things too. So it's like, they may like, you gotta understand how witches work. They try manipulating things. So it's like, yeah, but definitely stay away from drugs, stay away from all that stuff. Drinking can even cause cancer, that too. So stay away from all that stuff too. So that's what I'm saying, like, stay away from all that stuff. And that's why I'm saying, like, I think they even say like technology can cause cancer, stuff like that. They say stuff like that, but like, whatever. But like, that's what I'm saying, like, they say like certain, like, what's it called, the when you drive by those places where they have the electric stuff or whatever, trying to think what they're called, with the electric currents or whatever you call it. What do you call it? Electric currents? I don't know what the just the those electric boxes and stuff that they have. That powers electricity. Stuff like that can cause cancer too. But I don't know, like and yeah, pollution stuff like that. But you understand this word is wicked. This word is evil. This word is evil, and there's so many variations of things too. It's not just boxed in like everybody thinks it is. Like there's so many variations to things. How God could also punish people with cancer. God could allow someone to have cancer as a punishment. Could he really could. He could really give someone cancer to punish them. To punish them. Because let's say someone rebels against God. God will allow them to have cancer. God will allow them to have cancer. Even without all that stuff, they can get cancer. So it's like, you understand how the spiritual sides of things work, spiritually, how divine everything's set up to with that. So, you know, but I just want to say that, and without being so much love, peace. Also, I gotta add this in here about cancer, cancer demons and cancer spirits and stuff too. It's demons too. Demonic spirits can cause cancer too. So it's like, that's what I said. Like these demons are cancer too. So that's also a thing too. Um, and yeah, and also witches. God could punish witches by getting them cancer, or the witches could get protected by the devil. Like let's say witches smoke cigarettes or smoke weed. Like some people, they may not get cancer because they may be protected, you know, from that, from the devil, or let's say God doesn't want to punish them yet, or something like that, or something like that. I don't know. Maybe God wants to, whatever. Like you gotta understand how God and the devil talks about stuff too. So it's like, you know, that's why y'all may wonder why some people smoke cigarettes don't get, but obviously they still mess with their body too, so they still end up, whatever. I don't know, it's whatever, but like, yeah, let's say like, you know, yeah, there's a lot of variation thing, like I said. So like, but it's just, yeah. So much love, peace.